Good morning, sir. Greetings of the day. Myself, Swarnalata. Thank you for an opportunity to present my lecture. So, I've chosen a topic called as agile methods. It is one of the important concept comes under software engineering. So, we will see what is agile method, what is the importance of agile methods. So, see, basically, before I move on to, I give an introduction about agile methods and what are the principles of agile methods. We will see what are the generic process models we have, what are the advantages and disadvantages of the generic software process models, and what are those disadvantages that will give rise to agile methodology, that we will see. So the very first important process model is waterfall model. So in this waterfall model, they will follow several activities to develop the software product. Okay, basically we follow several phases. Okay, there are several phases present in the waterfall model. We will follow each and every phases, each and every activity to develop the software product. In the waterfall model also, we have requirement specification, design, implementation, testing, and maintenance. These are the 5 phases we have to be followed to develop the software product. So the main drawback with waterfall model is, once I'm in a current stage, suppose assume that I'm in a second phase, I cannot go back to the previous phase to do some changes. Okay, or if a customer comes with a new set of requirements, that I cannot incorporate, because I cannot go back to the specification phase and to do the changes. So that is a major drawback with respect to waterfall model. So the main advantage of waterfall model is it's best suitable for the projects which are larger size. Okay, or if it is a complex project, I can go for waterfall model. So next we have evolutionary development. Evolutionary development in this particular process model. So here the phases, whatever the phases I specified, requirement specification, design, implementation, testing, maintenance, these phases will interleave. Okay, and under this particular evolutionary development, we have two different types. One is exploratory and the other one is throwaway prototyping. These are the two different types we have under evolutionary. So basically exploratory development is, so the developers start working on, they'll start implementing the software product based on the requirements which it is clear. Okay, the requirements are clearly understood. So from that they'll start implementing the software product. When it comes to throwaway prototyping, here the development team starts working on the requirements where they have not understood clearly, the requirements are not clear. So that is a main advantages between, the main difference between exploratory and throwaway prototyping. The main drawback with this evolutionary development is, so here the process is not visible because we are interleaving the processes phases, so the process is not visible. And the main one more drawback is there's a lack of process visibility, and because of the lack of process visibility, the structure, the system structure is often poorly structured. Okay, the structure of the system is not clear, and at the same time we need a special skills to incorporate or to adopt this evolutionary development. So that is a major drawback of evolutionary development. Next, coming to the component based software engineering. So this basically, we will, instead of developing a system, okay, our application from the scratch, we will try to reuse the existing components or the existing modules or the functionalities. So that is a main concept of this main process model, main advantage of this component based software engineering. We can reduce the time by making use of the existing components. Okay, the major drawback with respect to component based software engineering is customer has to sacrifice the requirements, or maybe he has to compromise with the requirements. So that is a major drawback. Next, coming to the one more method called as, one more process model called as formal methods. Here basically in the formal methods, the requirement specification and design has to be represented in the form of mathematical equation. Correct? No? So with respect to formal methods, so the main drawback is here we need a domain expert to understand the mathematical equation, because the specification and the design has been represented in the form of equations. So to understand those equations, we need a domain expert. And at the same time, it is the formal methods are very expensive to develop the specification, and it is even more expensive to show that a program meets the customer specification. So these are the major drawbacks with respect to formal methods. Next, we have two more methodologies, two more process models, that is incremental and spiral development. So this incremental delivery and spiral development comes under the category of process iteration. So the name itself saying process iteration, basically will reusing the same phases, that is iterating the same phases, that is requirement specification, design, implementation, testing, and maintenance phases will be repeatedly used to develop the software product. So the main intention, the main advantage of this incremental spiral development is we can satisfy the customer needs based on the incremental incremental or maybe based on the requirements, okay, we can satisfy the dynamic requirements of the customer. So that is a major advantage. Okay, and we'll try to prioritize the requirements, and based on the priority of the requirements, the development will start and delivering the product or the application. So with respect to spiral development, with respect to spiral development, it's similar to incremental delivery, but the main advantage of the spiral development is we can analyze and assess the risk involved in each and every phase of the software development lifecycle. So we can explicitly analyze the risk involved in requirement phase, design phase, implementation, testing, and maintenance phase. There is a major advantage of using this spiral development. We can assess and analyze the risk involved in each and every phase of SDLC. Okay, so this is about the generic software process models we have. So because of all these drawbacks, this gives rise to the agile methodology. Okay, so agile methods, why basically agile methods means most of the companies nowadays they've adopted this agile methodology because agile methods follows iterative development. Okay, so either it could be incremental development or a spiral development. They follow this iterative development for developing and delivering a software product. And one more, why we have chosen this agile methods means we have to develop and deliver a product or a software product or application within a short time. Okay, correct? No, so nowadays in a market, every now and then we are facing a lot of softwares. They're coming up with a new softwares. So to satisfy the business needs, to satisfy the customer needs, so they have to follow this agile methodology. So the main focus of this agile methodology is they're focusing on the code rather than the design. So they're not worrying about the design part. They're directly moving. They follow the design. They follow the software development life cycle phases as is specified. They are following iterative development. Okay, either it could be incremental or a spiral development, but they're not giving much importance on the design part. They're focusing on the code, and at the same time, they are the main intention of this agile methodology is to develop and deliver a product or a software product or application within a short time. Okay, that's what we say. The agile methods comes under the rapid application development criteria. Okay, so we have to develop and deliver a software product within no time, and these agile methods are best suitable for large or medium sized projects, not suitable for complex projects. If we have a too big projects, or if it is a complex project or a product we need to develop, means we either choose waterfall or a component based or evolutionary methods, what I discussed just now in the previous slide. Okay, that is about the agile methodology. So next, along with this, the agile methodology, they follow the iterative development, either as a specified incremental or spiral model. Along with that, they follow several principles. So what are those principles are basically, okay, so the first principle that has been adopted in agile methodology is customer involvement. So basically, customer involvement is nothing but so in each and every phase of the software development life cycle, customer will be involved. Okay, so that means, so here what I mean to say is, so with respect to your generic software process model, whatever I just now discussed, either it is a waterfall or a evolutionary or a throwaway prototyping or a formal methods. So customer will just give the requirements, and only you will come to the you'll meet the development team for taking the or delivery or accepting the requirements or the functionalities. Okay, or maybe collecting the product. So but whereas in agile methodology, in each and every phase of the software development life cycle, whether it is a requirement phase or a design or a implementation phase or a testing phase, customer will be closely involved in all the phases of this SDLC. And at the same time, this, because of this practice or this principle, so development team can work or can satisfy the customer requirements, whatever is specifies, whatever is feedback, whatever is his opinion, that can be incorporated in the development while developing a software system or a application. That is the main advantage of this, or the basic advantage of this principle, customer involvement. Next, we have an incremental delivery. Basically, incremental delivery as is specified. So the agile methodology has adopted this iterative development. Okay, either it is incremental or a spiral. So the name itself saying, so we will take the customer requirements. Suppose a customer comes with requirements, 100 requirements. I cannot implement all the 100 requirements in one shot. Correct? No, I have to prioritize the requirements. What is the highest priority requirements? So that I will develop and deliver those highest priority requirements in the first version. Similarly, the next highest priority requirements will be considered or develop and deliver in the later versions. That is what the incremental delivery is basically. So the next principle of agile methodology is people not process. People not process is basically, so we need to identify the skill set of the employees or the skill set of the development team. So who is good for what? Okay, so if the person is good enough in designing, so we need to give a job of designing the system. Okay, so if the person is good enough in testing, so we need to assign the task of testing job. Okay, so we need to identify the skill set in each and every person's skill set, and accordingly the task has to be given. That is what the people not process basically. So the next one more principle of agile methodology is embrace change. Embrace change is basically, if you suppose I'm a developer, while developing a software product or application, if a customer comes with a new set of requirements, I should not say no to him, correct? No, we have to, as a development team, as an organization, I should accept the requirements and I should try to incorporate those requirements in the software system. Okay, that is called as a embrace change. In any point of time, if customer comes with a new set of requirements or a dynamic requirements, as a development team, as a developer, I should be in a position to accept those requirements and incorporate the same thing in the software system. And the last principle of agile methodology is maintain simplicity. So in each and every phase of the software development lifecycle, whether it is irrespective of requirements, design, implementation, or testing, any phase if you consider, you need to maintain the simplicity. That is simple code, simple design, simple requirements. Like we need to understand the requirements clear. That's, as we said, requirements should be clear, consistent, completeness. So that means you need to maintain a simplicity, okay, in each and every phase of the software development life cycle. That is the last principle of agile methods. So next we have the extreme programming. Basically, the extreme programming is one of the agile methodology. Okay, so extreme programming, and one more agile methodology is there, that is well-known agile methodology, that we call it as a Scrum. Okay, so extreme programming, Scrum, and pair programming, these are the important agile methodologies. So what is extreme programming, that we will see in this particular slide. So extreme programming, the name itself saying, so to the extreme level, we are trying to use iterative development as well as customer involvement for developing a software product. To the extreme level, we'll try to use iterative development and at the same time customer involvement. So the extreme programming is represented in the form of XP. The notation for extreme programming is XP. So this is basically, as I said, it is to the extreme level, we are trying to adopt the iterative development and the customer involvement for developing a software product. So here, as I specified, it comes under the agile methodology. Is one of the best example for agile methodology. Obviously, it try to adopt the principles what we have followed in the agile methodology. So what are those principles that we will see? Along with those 5 principles, extreme programming also use our practices, several good practices, as is specified in the agile methodology. Incremental planning, so we'll try to prioritize the customer requirements, and accordingly we'll try to develop and deliver the requirements in the version basis. Okay, so that's what they say, small release. That means we'll try to prioritize the requirements, but the highest priority requirements will be released or to be developed and delivered to the customer. That is called as incremental planning and small releases. Next, we have a specified simple design, obviously. So this one of the extreme programming is one of the agile methodology. It has to follow the simplicity with respect to code, with respect to requirements, or with respect to design, or whether it is testing also. So simplicity is expected. That means wherever you find a complexity, we need to reduce it to simple form. Okay, so try to avoid the complexity. That is a major intention of this extreme programming. The next one is test first development. So test first development, the name itself saying, before we develop a new functionality, or before I develop a new module or a system, we need to we need to prepare with the test data. Okay, so test data has to be prepared before we develop a new functionality. So that is called it as a test first development. So we have to come up with the test data. So based on the test data, we can come up with a new functionality. So that we call it as test first development. The last practice with respect to extreme programming is refactoring. This is one of the important concept. Okay, it's one of the very important concept with respect to agile methodology. Either it is extreme programming or a Scrum. Okay, refactoring is one of the important concept. Basically, the refactoring is the development team. Okay, they'll work on the code, they'll work on the design part, or they'll work on the requirements without affecting that. By preserving the functionalities of a system, they'll try to improvise your code, or they'll try to improvise the structure, they'll try to improvise your system. Okay, what for? just to improve the efficiency or improve the quality, improve the performance of the system. So they'll be keep on working at the back end to improvise your system performance. So they'll be try to improving the structure of a system, improving the structure of a design, or they'll be working on the back end just to improve the quality or the performance of the system. So that is about the refactoring. So that's about. Thank you. If you have any doubts, you can